Hi, 7th grade. Welcome to lesson 5.3, solve equations using the distributive property. By the end of the lesson, I want you to be able to say, I can use the distributive property to solve equations. Let's explain it. 6 friends go whitewater rafting. The total cost for the adventure is $683.88, including a $12 fee per person to rent flotation vests. Marcella says that they can use the equation 6r plus 12 equals 683.88 to find the rafting cost r per person. Julia says that they need to use the equation 6 times r plus 12 equals 683.88. Whose equation accurately represents the situation? Construct an argument to support your response. Okay. Remember that the $12 fee to rent the flotation vest is per person. So we're not just going to pay $12 for all 6 people. It's going to be 12 times 6. So that tells me that Julia's equation is correct. So Julia, because it's $12 per person. Okay, what error in thinking might explain the inaccurate equation? Well, she might have just thought it was $12 for everyone, not per person. All right, how can you use the correct equation to determine the rafting cost per person? So we'll rewrite the right equation. 6 times r plus 12 equals 683.88, right? Yeah. Equals 683.88. Well, I see the number outside of the parentheses, so I know that means I have to do what? Distribute, which is today's lesson. So remember, distribute is to multiply. This gives us 6r plus 6 times 12 is 72 equals 683.88. Now remember, back from last lesson, we're trying to get the r alone. We have to work the farthest away from r. So right now the 6 is directly touching the r, so we can't get rid of it yet. So we're going to get rid of that 72. The 72 is positive. To do the opposite, we are going to subtract, because positive 72 minus 72 is equal to 0. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So we're going to subtract 72 from both sides. And this cancels out. We bring down our 6r equals 683.88 minus 72 gives me 611.88. Then the last step is to get r by itself, and r is being multiplied by 6. So we need to use the inverse operation, which is division. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Cancels out on the left. Then we grab our calculators. 611.88 divided by 6 equals 101.98. And don't forget what we're solving for and making sure that that makes sense. We are trying to solve how much does it cost for each person to go rafting. $101.98 makes sense because then it also includes the price. Oh no, that's how much it is without including the price for the life jackets. All right, example number 1. Solve equations using the distributive property. Each of the graphic novels in Chen's collection increased in value by $3.50 in the last few years. If each graphic novel has the same value, what was the original value of one graphic novel? So we know that there are 10 graphic novels and they currently are $75. So they used to cost a certain amount, and we don't know what that amount is. That's why we're going to use a variable, g, but we know that there's 10 of them, and we know that they each increased by $3.50. So that's why inside the parentheses we have g plus $3.50, and outside we have 10, because whatever that original price plus $3.50 times 10 equals the 75. So we distribute the 10 in. So 10 times g gives me 10g. 10 times $3.50 gives me 35. Remember, we're still trying to solve for g. We can't get rid of the 10 yet, so we have to get rid of the 35. The 35 is positive. So we are going to subtract it. That cancels out. 75 minus 35 gives us 40. So we have 10g equals 40. Trying to get rid of the 10, it's being multiplied to g. So we divide it. That cancels out on the left, and g equals 4. So the original cost of the graphic novels was $4 each. Now it wants us to use mental math in order to check to see if the solution is reasonable. Well, 4 plus $3.50 is 7.5, times 10 is $75, so that works. The original value of one graphic novel was $4. Let's try it. A collector has a box of 32 figurines. The value of each figurine increased by $2.32 over the last year. The box of figurines is now worth $114.24. What was the original cost X of one figurine? I don't want to use the boxes because I like to do it our own way. So we have the original cost of a figurine, but they increased by $2.32 for each figurine. But we have a total of 32 of them, and they all are worth $114.24. All right, what's my first step? I'm going to distribute the 32 to everything inside the parentheses. 32 times x is 32x. Now grab my calculator. 32 times 2.32 gives me positive 74.24 equals 114.24. Okay, trying to solve for the variable, we're trying to solve for x. So we need to get rid of the 32 and we need to get rid of the 74.24. What do we need to get rid of first? The 74.24. Now that's a positive 74.24, so to get rid of it, we are going to subtract it. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So that cancels out on the left-hand side. And remember, like one side to the other is the sides of the equal sign. Bring down the 32x and do 114.24 minus 74.24. I believe that's 40. And let's just double check in our calculators. 114.24 minus 74.24, and it does equal 40. Last but not least, we are still trying to get x alone. The 32 is bugging it. 32 is being multiplied to x, so we're going to divide it, use those inverse operations. So x equals 40 divided by 32, 1.25. So the original cost of the figurines was $1.25. Can the equation 32x plus $2.32 equals 114.24 be used to find the original cost of each figurine in the problem above? This is just like that. Explain it in the beginning. No, because each figurine increased, not just one of them. Okay, so the next example Solve equations by distributing a negative number. Okay, so we have that -5. We want to distribute it in to everything inside the parentheses. Be careful with the signs. -5 times a positive s is -5s. -5 times a positive 30 is -150 equals -17. Now we're doing the same thing, trying to solve for s. So we need to get everything away from the s. We've got a -5 and a -150. The closest to s is -5, so we can't get rid of that yet. We're going to get rid of the -150. To do the opposite, we're going to add 150. We are going to cancel it out on the left, bring down the -5s, and -17 plus 150 is equal to 133. -5 is being multiplied to s, so to get rid of it, we are going to divide. Divide both sides by -5. Cancels out on the left, and please be careful, a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So s equals -26 3/5, or you could do -26.6. Example number 3. Solve equations by distributing a rational number. The cheerleading squad received 1/4 of the total sales of foam fingers and pom-poms at a prep rally. The squad receives a total of $136.75. What was the value of the pom-poms sales? P. They raised $250 in sales of foam fingers. But we don't know how much they received in pom-poms. So that's why we're using P. And remember that they only get 1/4 of that. So the total cost, P, the total amount they raised, P plus 258, has to be multiplied by 1/4. So you're going to multiply that 1/4 in. They show us with a fraction. I can show you with the decimal after. 1/4 times P is 1/4 P. 1/4 times 258 is 64.5. So they actually show you with the decimal. To get rid of the 64.5, we subtract it on both sides. So 1/4 P equals 72.25. Now we can divide by a fraction, or we can multiply by the reciprocal. Remember, reciprocal is one of our vocab words. It means the fraction flipped. So we're going to multiply both sides by 4/1. That cross cancels, and you could put 72.25/1. Multiply across, and P equals 289. So the total received from pom-pom sales was $289. All right, let's try it. Use the distributive property to solve each equation. So the first thing we're going to do is distribute in the -1/2. -1/2 times B is -1/2 B. -1/2 times -6, negative times the negative is a positive. 1/2 of 6 is 3, equals 5. Trying to solve for B, can we get rid of the 1/2 first? Nope. We have to subtract 3 from both sides of the equation. So we bring down the -1/2 B equals 2. Now we can divide by -1/2, or we can keep change flip and multiply by -2/1. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. These cross cancel. B equals, I can put this 2/1. Positive 2 times -2 is -4, and that would be over 1. All right, B, I'm going to distribute in. 0.4 times x is going to be 0.4x. And then, using my calculator, 0.4 times 0.45 equals 0.18, but I know it's a positive times a negative. So it's going to be 0.18 equals 9.2. Trying to solve for x, I need to get rid of that 0.18 first, but it is negative, so I'm going to add it, inverse operations. So that cancels out on the left, and I get 0.4x equals 9.38. Divide both sides by 0.4. X equals, quickly, I'm running out of time. Actually, do this on your own. Do C on your own and let's try and, well, say it on your own too. Have a great day.